What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today this is part 11 of what should they do with all 32 NFL teams, and today we're going to do the Minnesota Vikings. Without further ado, please like, please subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and without further ado, let's get on with the video. So, the Minnesota Vikings have the 11th overall pick in the draft, and let's just look at their draft picks real quick, and then we'll do a deep dive of what they should do. So they had the 11th overall pick due to their record this year. They had a 7-10 record. They have a second round pick, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, and 2 sixths. They don't have a seventh or a third round pick. So these are decent picks. I think you can make a good roster out of this. I mean, an up and coming roster. Obviously, you don't have rookies turning to Super Bowls unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs. But that's beyond the point. I think when I was watching the Minnesota Vikings this year, I saw a lot of problems when it came to their defense. I saw a lot of problems in their quarterback, and I saw a lot of problems in the running backs. I think those are the three areas that they need to improve on. So the reason why I think their defense was not good is because Brian Flores decided, you know what, I'm going to blitz 44% of the time, or 50% of the time, or 60% of the time. I'm going to blitz every play, and that just doesn't work in the NFL. You can't just blitz every play. I remember that Packers game against the Vikings. He blitzed literally every damn play, and Jordan Love literally ate his whole defense, man. It was crazy, but I think that the Vikings should improve that secondary too. That secondary was not good. I mean, Murphy was good, but everyone else in that secondary was not good. And I definitely do agree that they should draft Terry and Arnold from Alabama. He's a pretty good corner. He's like one of the best corners in the draft. And I don't know. They can either go with a corner or they can go with a quarterback. There's some rumors that the Vikings should trade up and give like Justin Jefferson in a first to get like the third overall pick and get Jaden Daniels. I think that's a dream scenario because you can have Jaden Daniels work with Jordan Addison. I think you can transition to Jordan Addison being your number one receiver. But the thing is, Justin Jefferson is so valuable to this team that I wouldn't get rid of him. And I would pay Justin Jefferson. I made a video about this. I think Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the league. I used to not think that, but now I do. I realized that he was carrying this team when they had not good quarterback play. He was carrying Nick Mullins on his back. He was carrying Jaron Hall on his back. He was carrying Josh Dobbs on his back. He didn't carry Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins was good. Like, Kirk Cousins won them games this year, but Kirk Cousins also got injured. So that's another question. Who's their quarterback next year? Like, is it going to be Kirk? Are they going to re-sign Kirk Cousins to another 3-year deal? And Kirk Cousins, again, he's 35 years old. That's another thing to keep in mind. Do the Vikings draft a quarterback at 11? Do they draft a quarterback at the second round? Like, there's so many questions the Vikings got to answer, and it's just like, I just don't know what they will do. Now, I'll tell you what they should do. They should draft a quarterback in this draft, because this quarterback draft is insane. If you look at this mock draft here real quick, I'll just show you. They got the Vikings selecting J.J. McCarthy. I don't know if, like, maybe J.J. McCarthy will have a really good pro day and his draft stock will go really up. I don't know if this solves the issues. Like, I don't know if J.J. McCarthy is going to be a really good talent in the NFL. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but we'll got to see. But I think you either can go with J.J. McCarthy or you can wait on a quarterback and wait to the next round and maybe draft like a Michael Penix or maybe a Bo Nix or something like that, and maybe spend that first round pick on a cornerback or an edge rusher like a Dallas Turner, or they could probably even get like maybe an offensive lineman. Like, there's so many options the Minnesota Vikings can go. I don't think they should spend it on a receiver. I think they have enough receivers. They have Jefferson and Addison, and I think they can re-sign KJ Osborne too. So the Vikings are fine with receivers, and they have a good tight end in TJ Hawkinson. So whatever quarterback you have coming into this like system, I have no problem with them developing because they have really good wide receivers around him, right? If you put J.J. McCarthy on this offense, it can be good. It can be really good, actually. But, I mean, I would wait on a quarterback because I just don't think that JJ McCarthy is worth like the 11th overall pick. I think you can definitely go with like a cornerback or something, but only time will tell. Maybe JJ McCarthy becomes the guy in the draft. Maybe he becomes the best quarterback in the draft. We never know. We never know. Um, and yeah, I think another thing they should do is I think they're gonna lose Daniil Hunter in the draft in the free agency. That just it sucks for them, but you know they have 35 million in cap space. I just don't think they can sign Daniil Hunter, sign Kirk Cousins, and sign Justin Jefferson. If I were them, I would get rid of. I would say, you know what, Daniil, you go to another team, go get another contract somewhere else because the Vikings just have so much other problems that they don't need to re-sign Daniil Hunter. I think he's the least of the worries. I think re-signing Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins or getting a quarterback in the draft is a way bigger priority than re-signing Daniil Hunter and then making the Minnesota Vikings financially terrible. Like basically, if they do that, they're in deep waters, and they just don't want to do that. Like this roster is not good enough to win a Super Bowl right now. So you need to build up your trenches. You need to sign the players on your team that are actually really good, that are actually part of your future. And Justin Jefferson, again, he's very young. He's a very young player. You have to keep him. Um, but yeah, again, they do have some cap space, but I think they have to use it on players that are already on the team. So I guess the Minnesota Vikings, in order to improve their team, they gotta draft well. That's simple. You gotta draft well. You gotta go get a cornerback. Go get a quarterback. They also probably need a lineman, like an offensive lineman. You might need a defensive lineman too, because you might need a Daniel Hunter replacement. So I'm saying right now, if the first round somehow in some way you get either Jared Verse or Dallas Turner, I say go get him. If not, go get Terry Arnold. He's pretty good. And then if not, and you guys think that JJ McCarthy's the guy, he shows a lot of promise in the draft day, then you go get JJ McCarthy. But I think they need to answer those questions. Who is their quarterback? Are they going to re-sign Justin Jefferson? And are they going to improve the defense? Like those are the three things. If they attack all those and get all those needs in the draft, and those draft prospects become good, the Minnesota Vikings can be a good team in the coming years. I think next year it'll be a struggle year for them. I think but you have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson. The offense will be good. I think the defense will struggle. I got them going again 7-10 in next year's season. Also, I think they'll be last in the NFC North. Hey, maybe the Vikings are a surprise team next year. Maybe they re-sign Kirk Cousins. They become a good team. I don't know. Obviously, we got to see what they do in the offseason to make that assumption. But I think the Vikings are going to be 7-10 next year. Without further ado, please like, please subscribe, and please comment. Comment down below what you guys believe the Vikings should do this offseason. What do you think the Vikings will do, and what do you think the Vikings will do in the regular season next year? Do you think they're going to be a playoff team? Do you think they're going to be a contender, or do you think they're going to struggle next year, like I think, and have another top 10 pick next year? That's going to be it for this video. Peace.